Hello, I'm John St. John, best known as the voice of Duke Nukem, and you're listening to Mark Who 42.
To Mark Who 42's universe. Probably one of the coolest geeky shows on the web because it has me and Vicky on it. I am your host for this episode, Eduardo M. Freyre, and with me is the just mentioned
Vicky Jakubowski.
Yep. And we are also joined by
Zion Quiros.
Now, are you 616 Zion? Or are you jumping realities? Be honest. Be honest.
I'm Earth 19999 Zion.
Oh darn it.
Ooh.
Oh darn it. Oh well, you know what? I was gonna say
which one that is.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, the reason Mark's not here is last I heard he's being held captive by the Illuminati of Earth 1963. I don't know why. I just know he's being held captive. I thought I found him on Earth 1986, but it turns out that was Mark's variant, who is a dumb jock. The minute I said something about Doctor Who, he was like, wow, that's like lame, and then proceeded to just bench press everything he could find next to him. So yeah, that obviously wasn't Mark. Oh well,
we want the cool Mark. We want the one who geeks out with us. That's
exactly. That's the one we want. We'll just have to free him from the Illuminati when we're done here, and hopefully the Illuminati won't come after us for breaking.
Well, don't give him any ideas.
Rules. Yeah, they probably already know. They probably already know and are saying Mark 42's universe is a threat to the multiverse. Hey guys,
Charles Xavier and that great brain of his just knows everything that's happening.
Oh yeah. As you can tell, today we are talking about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the sequel to the first Doctor Strange movie, and continuing on the MCU as it becomes the MCMU, the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. So a little bit. So I think, first of all, to start with, we are going to be doing spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, stop listening right now. Go see if it's still playing in theaters. Watch it.
Definitely is.
Come back. Okay. See. Well, thank you, Zion. Thank you, Zion, for doing your research. Show prep. It helps, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, go see it in theaters. Or depending on if you're listening to this towards the end of the month, June 22nd is when it hits Disney Plus. So pop up Disney Plus, watch it, come back. Don't worry, we'll wait for you, but not for long. Okay, if you're still here listening to us, you saw it, and you don't mind spoilers because it's already been spoiled for you by virtue of the fact that you saw the movie. Yeah, that's a spoiler I think everybody can live with. So yeah, first off, now is everybody's seen the first Doctor Strange movie, of course, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And yeah, it's, one thing I got to say, I know that, myself included, there were some people that had fear because Multiverse of Madness ties really well, ties into WandaVision.
Yes.
And, and we also just had Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't know about anybody else, but I thought they did a pretty good job handling things. Like, it didn't feel too confusing. I mean, what do you think, Vicky?
Not to me at all. I was lapping it in because something would happen. Okay. And then it's like you're putting together a puzzle, a really damn good puzzle.
Yeah.
And you kind of pay attention. And I told my husband, we've got to go see it again because we saw it when we were in Disneyland. Ooh. And it was so much fun. And it's like, I really want to go see it again because I want to go see all those things that I know I missed, that I know were in there somewhere. And it just, to me, it was a fun ride. But I think that's because Sam Raimi at the helm knew what he was doing and has taken us on wild rides before. Evil
Oh,
Dead,
yeah.
anyone? You know.
Yep. What do you think, Zion?
I feel kind of the reverse of it, because like I tried to like look at it, because this, just like you, I was terrified that this was going to be the dreaded Disney Plus only's movie, right?
Yeah.
And so I came into it, and once you actually look at it, at least this is from my point of view, the movie's basically the Wanda movie, right? So if you take that and you take what we last saw of Wanda, not including WandaVision, right? She has this book. She's now evil. How did she even get there? There's no inference of how she got there throughout anything else besides WandaVision. And like I feel like I get where we're coming from, because we've been through this ride as the ride went on. But like, if someone didn't pay for Disney Plus, they like, you'd be fine with the information that you're given, but you'd still have to ask someone, why does Wanda have the book? Why is Wanda evil? Where did the kids come from?
Yeah.
Where's Vision?
The other
is certain things, but like, you can still put together the movie given the information that you're given. It's just odd that like, to actually 100% understand it, you actually do need Disney Plus. At least that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I will say that I do know that some people didn't like how Wanda was portrayed in this film because they thought it undid her growth in WandaVision. But the thing is that, well, first of all, yeah, like we're talking, you'd need to see, like there are people who wouldn't have seen WandaVision when they saw this movie. The other thing is that, I don't know, maybe it's just me because I'm a comic book geek and I've actually read this and all that stuff. When you have a book like the Darkhold, that, it's pretty darn easy to kind of slip into the dark side. Yeah, it's freaking, it's like the tome for dark magic.
Yes.
In the comics, it's said that if you don't want to turn evil, you better be a really damn good sorcerer and magic user, because then you're going to turn evil. There was like an entire comic series about Chthon, the one who created the Darkhold in the first place, sending one of his avatars to tempt people with pages from the freaking Darkhold.
Yeah.
It's like he wouldn't do that if he didn't think, ooh, I'm going to get some new corrupted souls who are going to help me invade Earth. Yay! He wouldn't do that if you could just read the book and be like, wow, cool. Okay, I'm going to sleep now.
It is not only that, but like, I have a question. Has any of the Avengers ever checked up on Wanda past Thanos like absolutely murdering her husband, or no? No one checked up on her.
It doesn't seem like it.
Usually, if you have a friend that lost her husband, you would check up on them, right? Especially if they're a reality bender that might have on-top potential. But that's just me. But like, it's just like, when you look at WandaVision, right?
Yeah.
This is the only end game. Because not only did she go through the absolutely mind-bending stuff that she went through in that series, but she was just left alone with it to fester and sit and grow in her mind. So of course that she's end up like this when something is influencing her mind when she's by herself.
Yep. I am willing. I'm willing to no prize it. First of all, WandaVision, what she did in Westfield, a lot of people didn't know exactly what was going on. So there is that. A lot of people didn't know what was happening in Westfield. So, a lot of people were unaware of what Wanda's involvement was in it. I'm willing to assume that it's not for lack of trying that they didn't get in touch with her. It's that she did a really good job of going completely off the grid. So even if somebody wanted to check on her, they can't find her.
Okay, fair.
Even at the end of WandaVision,
Then I just put that on just on just Strange, because he's like the only one of the pay grade that would be able to actually like check up on her at this point in time.
Yeah. Well, and even then, I mean, given what we're dealing with, I mean, he could have been looking for her, and it could have just been right before the events of Multiverse of Madness that he was able to find out where she was shacking up. And even then, you know, she was so in tune with the Darkhold, she managed to cover up the fact that, you know, she was living in, you know, basically hell on earth because, yeah, she was messing with the Darkhold.
And it's also important, like, I think that Doctor Strange had to be the one to find her because he was going through his own arc. You know, of course, again, you have to go to a Disney Plus series, which is the What If series, which kind of explains his various versions of himself and the almost insanity it causes in his mind. But I have to point out, and this is coming from being a mother. So my perspective with Wanda is that if I lost my child, whether I created him out of thin air or not, which to be perfectly honest, isn't that how motherhood works? Let's just be honest. That you know, I would want him back. I would do whatever I could. So I would be prime picking for the Darkhold to say, oh yeah, okay, weak spot right there. Oh, look at the power she has. Oh, we're gonna have fun with this one.
Yep.
So I didn't feel her so much as evil, but blinded by her desire to have her children back. And I will tell you, there is many a mother that has gone darn near crazy when her children have disappeared and have done things that many people look at and go, why in the world would you act that way? Because her kids are missing. And even though they're not really real, at least not at that point, not in her universe, she could not accept that. And the Darkhold took that thought and that memory and mutated it in her mind and just absolutely twisted a mother's love into the worst possible thing. And it was only in seeing her children losing their mother in the other world that it took all of that for her to realize that these aren't her children. And it was massive. And from a mother's perspective, I found that so gut-wrenching. But I also think that I've heard other people say that this is more about Wanda because they don't see the more subtle arc of Doctor Strange. Because in the beginning, he is mourning the loss of Christine. And by the time he gets to the end, he realizes he can never have her.
Yeah.
So, and it's more subtle, whereas Wanda's right there out in your face. But there's just as an equal fight going on in him.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's a question, though. You know, here's a question, because you bring up Doctor Strange. One of the things I find interesting about what Multiverse of Madness does is the implication that our dreams might just be, our dreams might just be us tapping into an alternate reality. And I love that because the first thing I think of is I've had dreams where, like, for example, I go to a house that I knew I lived in. And, but the architecture is different. I've added rooms, or a room is bigger, or the layout is different from what I know to be true. So it's interesting, how they just throw that in there.
That's true.
That actually scares me because I had a dream that a xenomorph killed me when I was in 5th grade. So,
oh, damn.
geez.
Damn. Okay. You know what? It is okay.
I had that dream too.
You know what? It's possible, Zion, that you tapped into one of your other dimensional selves.
It was
as long as the xenomorph
in the
doesn't
shower,
come here,
just
we're
like
okay.
Psycho too.
Oh,
I know.
Geez. Yeah. No, I've had dreams. I've actually had Disney dreams where I'm in a Disney park, but I've again totally changed the layout. I've had dreams where the Haunted Mansion is a walkthrough rather than a ride. So it's like, who knows? Maybe I tapped into the Haunted Mansion. I tapped into a version of the Haunted Mansion that was a walkthrough.
It does, though. It starts to it's a rabbit hole. Because the further you go down, and there are things that they say, and there's things that they do, and you just kind of go, oh wow, that's deep. Oh God, I hope not. What? No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like when you look at the multiverses versus that America and Strange go through, and
Ugh.
one of them is the paint verse.
Paint person.
I'm
Yeah.
like, that is funny as heck, and I'm like,
Yeah. Although
not what I would call a fun one though.
Yeah, well, America even said it. She was like, "Yeah, you don't want to, eating here's a challenge." Yeah. I will say this: it's interesting that you mentioned that sequence. Did anybody catch the living tribunal?
No.
I gotta think about it now.
Everything happened too fast.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go watch it again.
Yeah. When they first, towards the beginning of their little jump, they do pass by some sort of dimension where you see a giant face, and that was the living tribunal.
Yes.
So yeah, we had we had and what's fun about that is he was name dropped in the first movie.
Yes, he was.
I think that was one of the magic objects that Mordo. That was one of the objects that Mordo was talking about. He was like, "Oh yeah, we've got the thing of the living tribunal." So yeah, so he was. So it's not only a great Easter egg. It's like, oh no, they've mentioned it, so it's canon.
How do you guys feel about Wong?
I like Wong. I think he's awesome. I like this. Honestly, I like this version. Okay, I don't want to say better than the comics, but it's a nice variation of having him as a sorcerer in his own right.
Yes.
Rather than just he's not a sidekick.
Yes,
but why is he the sorcerer supreme still?
Because if
I'll field this one.
Because look, I have a question, right?
Yeah.
We leave the sanctum of the nine realms, blah blah, in the hands of Wong. Wonderful. Wanda's here. Wonderful. We can all allow her to get the Darkhold. We've had situations where we've said that we'll sacrifice entire planets for certain objects because of XYZ. So this is like one of those points. Why does Wong give up for only 4 people? Because like it's not the power scale, but it's like the duty of the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, well, first off, I think from what, again, this is one of those things. This is one of those things with the comics. This is one of those things where tapping into the comics, even though this is the movies. I know that with the sorcerers, having the title of Sorcerer Supreme, it's not like you can go into HR and be like, hey, I got snapped back after being snapped by Thanos. Can I have my job back? You kind of have to go through some stuff to get it back. My guess is Wong, when Strange got snapped, Wong was probably the most powerful magic user around. So it's like, okay, he's, he knows the most out of everybody who, everybody who's still standing. So he should have the job. The other thing would be, I think that Strange, remember, the Time Stone is gone. He no longer has he still has the Eye of Agamotto, but the Time Stone is gone. So I think that's kind of one of those things. If he still had the Time Stone, either it would have to go to Wong, or there would have to, or that would be a case for, okay, we can see about getting you back your job.
Fair enough. But also they give him like I understand that the movie is Doctor Strange and such, but he does the same thing every movie. He's done the portal thing 50 times. I would like something new, but that's just me. At least with Wong. Because because he's the Sorcerer Supreme. Let me see him pull out a freaking giant snake monster out of a hat or something, At least something cool. Something.
Yep.
Well, I feel like we definitely need more Wong. I'm going to say that because not only he's an amazing actor, but it's a great character, and the fact that we've had clips of him in some of these other movies, it's just kind of like he's moving from one section to the other. It's like, oh, what's he doing here? Oh, there he goes. And but I'd love to see more of him because it's just such a great character, and I feel like we need more of him.
Oh yeah, no,
Please.
Definitely.
Hint,
Definitely.
Marvel.
Yep. And by the way, I will say I love that Wong was just throwing shade at Doctor Strange.
I know
that he was just
That's
like
another reason we need more of him.
Yep. It's like, yes, this is what happens when you're Sorcerer Supreme. You have access to this information. It's like yeah. Strange is probably a little sick and tired of hearing that.
So be it. But
I will say this. Okay, I will say this. I am a little mad. I am a little like if there's one thing, speaking of characters, we'll get to America Chavez in a minute because I mean, wow, she's the great, she's a great addition. But we got in, they introduced Rintra. That was the Minotaur that was in Kamartaj.
Yes.
But I'm a little mad. Yeah, I'm a little mad because it's cool that they actually, that they dug, they dug deep for, they dug deep for that. But I'm kind of PO'd because he really didn't do anything. It's like, you have a freaking Minotaur monster guy. Give him something to do. Seriously, give him something to do.
He was kind of just thrown in there. Let's be honest.
He was kind of like, come on, man. You could have had him like defending Kamartaj, trying to fix Kamartaj while when Scarlet Witch grabbed Wong and was like, we're going on a field trip. I'm just like, dude, give him some, like, hopefully. I am seriously hoping that maybe, with Doctor Strange 3, that, they give Rintra something to do, like more stuff to do, not just be like, hey, cool, Kamartaj has a Minotaur monster.
Well, I think that's one of those Easter eggs that they throw in for the comic book fans so that they can say, hey, we haven't forgotten you. We know there's a little bit of chaos going on, but and there will be one of the things I do like that Marvel does extremely well, flat out, is their ability to throw in Easter eggs from the comic books, from the multiple versions of the comic books, from past movies, and it just sometimes you miss it, and you either watch it again or you watch a review of it on YouTube. Next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, I saw that, but it didn't click in my head.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Although still, I want more Rintra. You know what? Give Rintra and Wong their own movie, and just
I'd watch that.
Have them on a freaking road. Instead of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, let's have Rintra and Wong multiversal road trip.
Well, that can be the next Disney Plus series.
There you go. Thank you. Exactly. Anybody need writers for it? I'm right here. I'm right here. I am actually right in front of my word processor. I can start right now. Do you want me to start right now? Say the word. Kevin Feige. I will start it right now. I swear in the Vishanti. I will do that right now.
It would be great.
Oh yeah. Imagine when they'll find Earth, the 775, where it's beer fest all year round. That'll be that'll be a fun episode. Anyway, so on that note, we do have to go for our commercial break. But when we get back, we'll be talking more of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
We'll be back with more of Mark Who 42's universe.
Because the world needs another movie podcast.
The Geekcast Radio Network presents for your listening pleasure the Cinema Geek.
Hosted by Amanda, Kevin, Matt, and Dan.
Each week we dive headfirst in the landscape of movies as we discuss movie news, play movie games,
Go in depth on reviews,
And even have a top 10 countdown or two.
Also, don't miss our director retrospective series, where we review noted directors' movies film by film. Bottom line is, if you love movies and love podcasts, you need to experience the Cinema Geeks.
You can find us on iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, or geekcastradio.com.
You are listening to Mark Who 42's universe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Mark Who 42, where we're talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. The good news is, while we were on commercial break, we did not get invaded by someone from an alternate dimension. Yep, nobody dreamwalked. Nobody dreamwalked into me. What about you, Vicky? No dreamwalking?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Zion?
Maybe tomorrow.
Zion, be honest.
No.
You're not dreamwalking.
No.
Nobody's dreamwalking in your body.
No one is also stealing my body for a secret invasion.
There you go. Okay, good.
I'm listening to my brain.
Good.
Nope, no one else in there. Just
no one
me.
there. No one there. Well, we started, when we left off, before we went to commercial, we started talking about the side characters. We mentioned Rintra, or the lack thereof, because he just stood there. And by the way, in case anybody's wondering, yes, I'm twitching. We talked about Wanda. We talked about Wong. And I'm still trying to write down ideas for that Disney Plus series, because you know it will rock. You all know it. And I think now let's keep going with side characters. Okay, so we had a cameo by Dr. West, where he mentions like getting blipped. I don't know what this is. One of those things where I gotta like find Sam Raimi and go, dude, what was that about? Because it's like you have the funny thing where he's like, I lost my, what was it, was it dogs or cats? He lost his pets. He's like, and my dad. Yeah, and my dad. So I'm like laughing and I go, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what the heck, Raimi? Like, are we supposed to find that sad? Is it supposed to be dark humor? It's like, dude.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to throw a little something in there.
Yeah.
To make you go, what? He likes to misdirect.
Yeah. And by the way, I actually found out we were supposed to have more of Dr. West in the film. That. Okay, so this is what I heard when Strange and America Chavez are in the Illuminati's world. We were supposed to, Christine Palmer was a member of the Baxter Foundation, which I'm guessing a certain big brain stretchy guy is in charge of.
Could be.
Yeah. She's in the Baxter Foundation. Apparently Dr. West was supposed to be in it as well. And as America Chavez, Strange, and Christine are kind of running away from Wanda, they were supposed to find Dr. West's head. Like he would have been killed off panel during the carnage. And I'm just like, whoa, dude. Holy cow. That would have been a major crud. This is dark now. We're heading into some dark territory here.
Yeah, just in case you missed the memo that this was dark, that would have definitely sealed it.
Yeah, that would have, exactly. But yeah, so we would have gotten more of Mr. West. Christine, I like, and I also wouldn't have mind like maybe one or two more scenes with Christine's new husband, because talking about how
like an afterthought.
Well, it's like, she mentions how he's a fan, and it's like,
yes.
What I'm hoping is when it lands on Disney Plus, when it comes out like with DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, that there's a deleted scene with the husband just walking up to Strange and just gushing at him, and Strange just like, yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you. Just it's like I'm in awkward conversation territory. Somebody help! Like I would just love. I really hope by the hoary hosts of Hogarth, tell me that that's a deleted scene, Because I mean, yeah, he was just. It's like we see him in the background, and I think when Strange fights fights to save America, that he's there and he's like, "Oh, cool." It's like, "Oh man, come on, come on." Speaking of which, I know that they called the monster like Gigantos or something.
Yeah,
Didn't they have to because of some sort of rights issue?
Yes, from what I heard. So Gigantos, in truth, is the MCU debut of a character named shuma-gorath, who has been, a demonic adversary for Doctor Strange and a bunch of, magic and cosmic characters in the MCU. From what I heard, they did have to change the name because the name shuma-gorath, I think, was tied into the Conan universe. So they couldn't call him that. And I will say this: if you notice, he was not called out by name the entire sequence.
He's just a monster.
He was just a monster. Yeah.
And that saddens me because they just killed him off.
Yeah. Well, on the other, remember,
or they just banish him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I'm sure, given the fact that we're dealing with a demonic creature, I'm pretty sure that it will probably recover from losing an eye and a limb or two.
Hopefully.
And since the fact that they didn't call him by name, who's to say that this actually is the shuma-gorath, and it isn't just some aspect that Wanda was able to control?
True that. Very true. I hope that that's the case, because I don't like one of my 3 characters from Marvel vs. Capcom to be put down to a monster.
Yeah. Well, it's
visually it was stunning.
Oh yeah.
And I thought it was very well done.
Oh yeah.
It was a shame because I kept telling my husband, it's like, I know this creature from something. I had to look it up, and it was like, oh yeah, that's it.
It's shuma-gorath. Yep.
I knew I'd seen this character before.
Yep, I would. And hey, and of course, I just have to wonder out there how many people were like, well, we got shuma-gorath, where's Mephisto? Because I know that's been a thing. It's like WandaVision came out, it's Mephisto. Something else came out, Mephisto. Yes. It's like, I think it's like whenever we're trying to think of who's responsible for this, it's like, it's got to be Mephisto. This time it has to be Mephisto. I mean, I almost feel like those of us in the MCU that would like to see Mephisto, it's like poor Linus trying to tell everybody the Great Pumpkin exists. It's like Mephisto's almost the Great Pumpkin of the MCU. It's like, he's out there, we'll get him. Like one of these days. I almost feel like Fahey should just troll the daylights out of people. And in just some random Marvel project, just have Mephisto in the background, just chilling with a cup of coffee, and just sitting there like he doesn't even care. He's not even paying attention to what's going on. He's just there with a cup of coffee and just relaxing. It's like
Well, it does feel like that Mephisto should really be there somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere hiding in the world, he's there and laughing hysterically, and it just, but maybe they haven't brought him in because in some ways he's too powerful of a character. There's a lot of characters that we get in the comic book series that are not in there very long, but they could on their own take over the universe or fix things or whatever.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And they just feel like it's it would be too confusing to people who are not familiar with the comic books.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about America Chavez?
Ooh, I love her. I love her. She was awesome. She was awesome. I loved her.
So it's like she was plucked right out, and that was her.
Oh yeah. No, and what I love is that it's a combination of things, because on the one hand, she's very knowledgeable in the fact that she's been jumping around from universe to universe, but then at the same time she just has so much to learn. So it's like this weird kind of like dichotomy, this weird kind of mix. I just love but I love the fact that, number one, there are universes out there where pizza balls are a thing.
I know.
And it's like, and it seems, according to like from how she acted, there's like more than one universe where there are pizza balls
coming to a con near you.
Oh, heck yeah.
You've got to figure out how to make those and make them tasty.
Oh yeah, no. I'm
and
sure.
Not weird little spongy.
You know what? I'm pretty sure if you go on YouTube, there's already a couple of people who are probably like, hey, I made pizza balls and they're yummy. So I'm sure it's out there. You just got to find it.
I think that out of all the things that are in this movie, I think that her, like the way that her multiverse jumping looks, it's most aesthetically pleasing thing in the entire movie. Like it's like something straight out of a comic. I'm like, oh, that's very pretty.
Oh yeah. And also it kind of shows why we're like in a golden era for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I doubt that even 20 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, we could have gotten the technology we needed to make it look really good. It would have been something else. I mean, it still probably would have looked good, but it wouldn't have had the aesthetics. Yeah, the impact. Yeah, exactly. It would have been kind of more about wipes and stuff.
It was very seamless the way that she would. Her portals were beautiful. They were amazingly well done.
Oh yeah,
and you didn't feel like you had a green screen and a green screen. You just didn't feel that in this movie.
Yep, and I also love like the effect when she had the portal open on Wanda, and then also they're in alternate Wanda's living room. When Wanda gets confronted with the fact that we know we want your kids back, but the kids see you being a little insane. which, by the way, those of us who are Doctor Who fans, did anybody else get vibes of A Christmas Carol?
Yes.
Yes, like when the younger version of that guy sees his older self. I was just like, oh, it's that again. Kind of makes me wonder, is Raimi a Doctor Who fan?
Oh, that's a good thought.
Yeah. Not to mention what would happen if you actually had him what would happen if you actually had him direct a Doctor Who episode?
Ooh, that would be a good one.
Boy. Oh lordy. Oh man.
Yeah. I have to say that Xochitl Gomez was like the best version I could even imagine of America Chavez.
Yes. And I know that according to Trish, she was in like season 1 of the Netflix Babysitters Club series. And then she left. Yeah, she left, and apparently it was because some opportunity popped up, and it's like, now we know. And no offense to the Babysitters Club, because it was a nice series, it was a cute little series. But if you're given the option, be a supporting character in a be like a supporting character in a series of in an adaptation of a series of children's books, or be a part of the frickin' MCU.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry.
She is only 16.
Oh yeah.
And she has carried this part, and you I don't know about you guys, but I totally believed everything she was telling me. I mean, and that's what a good actor does. She I mean, I don't even know what to say, because she just was so phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, we're going to see a lot of great things out of this actor. She is just going to be phenomenal out there in the world, and I can't wait until we get more America. I want more Ms. Marvel. I want it now, because
definitely.
I want to know more.
Well, and don't forget, because we do have, we've got America Chavez, we have Miss Marvel coming up. We have, we already have Kate Bishop running around. Thanks to Thanos and his finger snapping skills, Casey Lang is now older, so the door is open for her to take on the identity of either Stature or Stinger. So we are getting, and Captain America and Winter Soldier. We did see Bradley's grandson, so Patriot is there in the wings. So we're getting, I mean, honestly, we have the ingredients for the Young Avengers. We do have some ingredients
really
to have.
Interesting.
Yep.
Where this goes.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh.
no offense, their TV show, the Disney Plus Marvel TV shows, are such high quality.
Yeah.
That, but it may be easier for them to pull those off than making the film, because you spread it out over a variety of shows. But I think Ms. Marvel's going to be hitting Disney Plus sometime in the very near future, aka June of 2022, I believe.
Yep. Yeah.
Is that what I heard?
I believe so.
So it's one of those
Yeah.
things that I'm so excited to see and see where it goes. And I just, because I want more of her. I want more of her powers. I want more of her just flat out magic. I know it's powers, magic, science, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that she's just pretty damn phenomenal, both the character and the actor. So it would be so much fun to see where this goes and see who they pair her with and see what's next for her now that she understands how to control her powers finally.
Oh yeah.
See, like
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
one thing that I wanted to talk about is that, do you guys think that like that development happened too quickly? Because like throughout the entire movie, pretty much her main plot point is that she can't control her powers because they're pretty much triggered by fear. God curse that bumblebee. That's the most diabolical bumblebee of all time. But whatever. The point is that like the whole movie, she's scared and it triggers her powers. Yeah. And then all it takes is just Doctor Strange for her to say, for him to say, you can do it. Just do it. And then now she has pinpoint accuracy.
Well,
like
I think
I understand that. Like I understand that the movie is about to end, but like I feel like they're having too quick. It is like an unlocked.
That is the downside like of the movies, because they have a time constraint. Because would it have been, if it had been the miniseries, it probably she wouldn't have gotten her powers until episode 3 or 4. As opposed to the end of this movie. But at the same time, I can also see and make a case for, but I do actually agree with you, Zion, that she goes through all these things. She feels all these things. And she's been lost this whole time on so many levels. And she finally found someone she can trust, someone she can rely on, and he trusts her. And that can be a very powerful thing, especially when you're a teenager, to have someone who believes in you. But couldn't they have maybe showed that arc? I mean, because it's kind of implied, but wouldn't it be better if she got a little better halfway through the movie and then a little bit better 3/4 of the way? And then by the time we get to the end and the climax, she's like, I got this.
Yeah.
Wah!
Yeah.
It just a little bit more of that, because it did feel, Zion's absolutely right. It's like struggle. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, it should be struggle better. Got it.
Yeah. I also think that I think maybe that's another thing where I would not be surprised once the movie hits streaming and once it hits, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, if that's a deleted scene. If we have like a deleted scene or two of, her getting a pep talk from Strange or Wong or, other people, and be like, no, you can do it. You can do it.
And that makes perfect sense, because it's funny, I did not feel like this movie was as long as it was long.
Oh yeah.
Because it felt like it just went by.
Oh yeah,
like, definitely. And so I am sure that Sam Raimi has several deleted scenes that I really hope will be on my DVD. Please, Sam, put it on my DVD.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Because I want to see that. I want to see that progression. And I can see also sometimes they will leave some of those out simply because there isn't enough time. And before we run out of time, we really should talk about the Illuminati, because I don't know about you, but when they're introducing the Illuminati, I was just screaming like a little girl.
Oh yeah, no. Well, first of all, I mean, we did have the previews did catch a glimpse of Professor X, and we had Patrick Stewart's voice, and and I know that Patrick Stewart was like, oh, they could replicate anybody's voice these days, and it's like, I know! Patrick, Captain Picard. I know you're trying to hide the fact you're in this movie, but that's not going to work. saying that is not going to work. Okay, I appreciate that you're trying to keep us in suspense, but dude, the cat's out of the bag. Okay. And if it was the powers that be at Disney and Marvel who were like, look, just pretend it wasn't you. It's like, guys, come on, do better, okay? I love the fact that we got Patrick Stewart back as Charles Xavier, and I love the fact we got live action Captain Carter. I love it.
She was phenomenal.
And then the other one that got me, the other one that had me cheering is, final. It's like, well, fans, you asked for it, we're gonna give it to you. And they had John freaking Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
There were people whooping.
Oh yeah.
That's like, oh my goodness, that's like Deadpool casting. Like that's a casting that was willed by the fans.
Yep. The only thing, I mean, honestly, I just kind of wish that the Illuminati didn't get redshirted so bad.
That's like the one point of the movie where I had to turn my brain off for a second, because they just say, smartest man in the world, Reed Richards, has brought you here from X universe. And he sees the universe, but he has no contingency. They clearly say that they've killed Thanos. Okay, so that means Reed has the stones. Why wouldn't he? There's like only an entire council of them with their own stones. So
I'm going to go with this Illuminati is not the best versions of these people.
Absolutely, this is the dumbest.
Yes,
the dumbest Reed.
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Well, I think
but
also
he would be fabulous in a movie. Hint universe. Let's get a Fantastic Four with a good cast.
Yeah.
Hint, please.
And you know what? And honestly, like I know that they, it's been said, I think Fahey said it or somebody said it, that like, well, this doesn't necessarily mean we're Krasinski in 616, but I'm like, no, just do it. Because the fact
there
that,
seems to be enough fans that want it.
Yeah. Like please, just do it, man. Just do it. And here's the thing. I mean, I know a lot of fans would love to see Krasinski is Mr. Fantastic, and then his wife, Emily Blunt, is the Invisible Woman. I would say that sounds awesome. Yes. But if gun to our heads, we had to, if gun to our heads, they said you can't have both. But do you really want Krasinski? I'm like, yes, especially because
I think that both of them would be phenomenal because Emily Blunt,
no,
was
originally
cast as the Black Widow, and then she had to do that god awful movie. And she will be phenomenal as Sue.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean that's
that intelligence.
That's the thing. And I mean that's also
that beauty.
Oh yeah, that's also the thing. I mean, it's like, I would love that fan casting, but I mean, if push comes to shove and we can't have both, I would want to have Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic again, especially
whoever plays Sue Storm is intelligent. I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, here's the thing: you don't have to, and this is the thing, because like I don't think you don't have to turn her into like a big brain, but just don't as long as she's not an airhead.
The mistakes of the past.
Yeah, as long as she's not an airhead, as long as she's not like a dumb blonde, I'm fine. Like you don't have to turn her into like a Nobel Prize winning genius. You don't have to do that. But make her at least, give it, show us some reason other than her looks that would attract Reed. Like I always said, if somebody told me, okay, well, we want to do a Fantastic Four reboot, and we want Sue to have a reason to be there, I would be like, look, you don't have to turn to a big scientist, make her a psychologist. Make her that, she's, make her something like that, give her something that's kind of like something that Reed doesn't have. So she complements, like that's the thing. And I love, we covered the big three of the Illuminati, but we didn't cover.
But the others are just as good.
Yep. Anson Mount as Black Bolt. It was great seeing him again.
That was fabulous. I love the costume, and his death, for as gross as it was absolutely perfect.
Yep. And then we also had Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel,
that
which
was
I thought
nice
that was an awesome variation. And I have to admit, I did not see it coming. Like we saw her flared up in the previews, and I remember pausing several times when I would look at an ad for Multiverse of Madness and being like, "Who are you? Like, who is this?" So finding out that was a Maria Rambeau Captain Marvel, I'm like, I'm here for it. I am here for it.
And I have to say that I would love to see more of these characters.
Oh yeah.
Maybe slightly smarter than this version.
And actually, and now that you think about it, we do have an opening for a 616 version of the Illuminati. Maybe not with the exact same people, but we do have an opening for it because.
Well, I would love to see Haley do a Captain Carter miniseries on Disney Plus.
Oh yes, I know that Marvel. Yeah, I know Marvel right now has a Captain Carter comic book miniseries. But yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see like an actual live action series on Disney Plus.
Well,
yes,
these fight scenes was the most violent the MCU has ever been, and it's not even close. Like, I never expected to see Mr. Fantastic be turned to string cheese right before my eyes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's turned to string cheese and his freaking head exploded.
Wow. And then that's something that I didn't expect. But like, it's something that I just look at this scene and say that this is what made the movie, not in terms of the violence, but in terms of the ingenuity. Like, I wish the rest of the movie was as creative with Wanda's reality bending. But like, you have her wiping mouths and having people explode and such, fine. But then you have her fight Doctor Strange, and they're just throwing red and green bolts at each other, and Doctor Strange is doing the kaleidoscope thing again for like the fourth movie. Like, when it comes down to it, I would like at least more. Like, this is the multiverse movie. This should be the one where you throw everything at the wall and just say, screw it, this is multiverse. And I feel like that they only really did that with this one small Illuminati scene. Given that
she was kind of at her absolute worst in this scene.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
It was absolutely amazing. And I can see what you're saying. I can think in my head where you've got two wizards, essentially, two magical beings who can't do that to each other because there's just too much. There's too many protection spells. There's too many things that all they can do is throw magic at each other. But I can also see where that's kind of anticlimactic compared to this scene.
Yeah. Well, and also, I think what I would put in is that when they're fighting in Camartage, that that Scarlet Witch is freshly mad. She hasn't had a chance to think, hasn't had a chance to like really concentrate on it.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Illuminati, they thought, oh, this is Wanda, we'll talk her down. Speaking of talking, unfortunately, we're coming to the end of the SUBSPACE Radio. We're coming to the end of our SUBSPACE Radio. But if you're listening to this on regular internets, we're going to be doing more. But if you're listening to this on SUBSPACE Radio, download the podcast because we're going to keep going with this. Like, most definitely. Because we got so much. This movie's too much. There's too much stuff.
It's not too much.
There's too much stuff.
Too much. Go see it again.
Yep, go see it again. Yeah, go see it again. Buy it on go see it again. Buy it on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. Watch it on Disney Plus. Find all the things. Find all the things.
We'll be back with more of Mark Who 42's universe.
Ah, brave new world that has such putzes in it.
The Pull Bag is GCRN's comic book review and discussion-based podcast. Join me, your host, TFG and Mike, and the rest of the GCRN crew as we make our way through the comics we are reading. Inside the Pull Bag, you'll also find back-issue classics and origins episodes of how we got into comic reading. You can find the Pull Bag every Wednesday on iTunes and on www.geekcastradio.com. Make your great escape into comics and jump into the Pull Bag today.
Oh yes, but think of the fun.
So yep, still if you're still here, that's because you listen to us. Yeah, you're listening to us on the internets, and yeah, because we just got there's too much. There's too much. This movie has too much. I mean, we haven't even talked about like Strange's the variants that we saw.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had, geez, what did we have? We had, well, first of all, we had, I think the one that was trying to help America Chavez at the beginning. I believe the name that we're given for him is Defender Strange. I believe that was the name that was given to him. I did notice that his outfit was very reminiscent of not. I'm trying to think. I believe. Don't quote me. If I remember correctly, his outfit resembled one that Strange kind of had, like in the 2010s or so. Because I know there was a moment there where he didn't have his he didn't have the Sorcerer Supreme. He wasn't Sorcerer Supreme. He
Right.
He lost it. He lost it. So he had like a different outfit that was black with a lot of red.
Mhm.
And I think that's that was a great little kind of throwback to that, which I thought was cool.
And the problem that Doctor Strange tends to have is the fact that he thinks that he's the one who has to fix everything.
Yep.
So that's why he keeps thinking, if I take her powers, and you see this in a couple, well, at least in one other variant, I'm trying to remember now, where it's like, if I take your power, I can stop it. Well, sometimes it's not up to you, darling.
Yeah.
And I think that Defender Strange just let the power get to him too much. And this idea that he has that it's the same as he was when he was a surgeon, when he would kick the other surgeons out and say, oh, screw it, let me just do it. Yep. And it starts to make sense that he's just, he's struggling with that concept, in that he really believes, and some of us have been there where it's like, oh, I'll just do it myself. It'll be faster. It'll be easier. Well, as I've been taught, sometimes you shouldn't do it all yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to learn to delegate, and also recognize that the other magical beings around you, like Ms. Marvel, are there for a reason, and let them do what they need to do.
Yes, definitely. I think the other one we had, we caught a glimpse of the Illuminati's Strange.
Who got absolutely destroyed in comic book fashion.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And also, by the way, did anybody notice Thanos' dead body like off to the side?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That
it
was
just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
At what price?
Yeah, exactly. What we did. I noticed one of the things I love is how they talked about the incursions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that they mentioned the incursions. A lot of people are like, "Uh-oh, are we setting up for? What's it called? Are we setting up for Secret Wars?"
Yep.
Yeah. I will say, and it was kind of, very interesting. I love that they mentioned the incursions. I kind of have to wonder also, I think, going back to the Illuminati, it was one of those, I have to wonder, because we do know that Wanda exists in that world.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what is it about Wanda? What is it about Illuminati World Wanda that had them thinking, oh no, Wanda's fine. We can handle Wanda.
I have a question though.
I think that says that Vision didn't die, and it didn't send her into her own madness. That was the first step in her madness, was when Vision died.
Ooh.
Maybe Vision doesn't even exist there.
Uh-huh.
That would be interesting.
That would
okay,
be,
I need to know more now. Come on, give us more.
That, you know what, Zion, you actually bring up a
good point.
Oh, you bring up a good point. Yeah. Does Vision not exist in that world? Is Vision not dead?
Yeah, because given based the movie, she would still have her kids. She can't have kids with Vision because Vision's an android.
Yeah.
even though an android can indeed cry, but
Yeah. Nice.
But doesn't she have kids with Vision in one of the versions of the comic books?
Yes, actually. Well, like for the longest time, like in the 80s, for the longest time, she did have kids with Vision. It was revealed that she used magic to impregnate herself.
See how she is.
See, she actually impregnated herself with magic. And it was later on that, she used... Oh, good grief. This is kind of complicated. Give me a second. She did, she used like these soul fragments that Mephisto had taken from somebody else to create her kids. And there was like a bit there where, she was starting to lose her grip on reality. So like her kids would disappear. And, there was like a running joke in the Avengers West Coast book that she and Vision were like just going through nannies like they were going out of style. Because she would start thinking about her kids, the kids would disappear, and the nannies would be like, oh no, where'd the kids go? They just disappeared. And then, and eventually she apparently lost her kids, went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, then got her sanity back, and her kids somehow revived as the heroes Hulkling and Wiccan.
Interesting.
Yeah, which they're still around right now. Hulkling and Hulkling and Speed. Sorry, Hulkling and Hulkling is married to Wiccan. Sorry.
Okay, we're gonna get ourselves really confused here.
Yeah,
but I've done that in comic books before, where I love this character, and I find a comic. I used to go to the store called Jellies in Honolulu, and you go and you get stuff, and you pull them up, and you're like, oh, hold it, we're in different universes. Darn it, I'm confused now.
Speaking of confusion, I wanted to talk about something that was brought up during the Illuminati scene. When Reed was talking about the universes, he practically confirmed that this is the MCU version of the 616 universe that our movies are from, right? And like I kind of have like a problem with that, because like the whole point of like the Marvel multiverse is that it's kind of like not in terms of DC, but like the infinite universes. This is like the MCU's number is Earth 199999. Yeah. And the comic one is 616. The ultimate is like 99999 or whatever. But like the point is that like you have these giant numbers. So like I will throw you a random scenario. You ask your friend. I mean, your friend tells you, my favorite character is Peter Parker. Which one? The 616. Yeah. Which one?
Yeah.
So now he has to say the comic one. Which one? The Ultimate or the 616 comic one?
Yeah.
Rather when we could just say just 19999 or just a different number like 525 or something like that. But
yeah, I think it was in this particular case with the Illuminati scene, I think they were trying to throw like a nice little Easter egg. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, that was cool, but it does open up a can of worms.
Yeah.
I know that some people were like, wait a minute, Mysterio used 616 when he described the world in Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, of course, I'm sure here's a good thing though. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure if you wanted to, somebody may have, it would be interesting if later on, like either in Ant-Man Quantumania, which we know that Kang's going to be a villain for that, or or someplace else, simply just say that Kang the Conqueror or somebody, another villain who knows about the multiverse gave Mysterio the inspiration. So he told him, oh yeah, 616.
That makes sense.
So that leaves an opening that somebody may have actually like told Mysterio what what the designation, because they were just they just wanted to be they wanted to kind of
for the
be like evil like that. Yeah,
right.
Like again, it comes to the problem. A lot of people don't read the comics, so you'll have people just saying 616 Peter when they're talking about MCU Peter rather than actual Stan Lee Peter Parker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure
we've now got 3 MCUs as well. Would MCU Peter Parker simply be Tom Holland, and the others will be other universes? Are we saying that? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'm kind of keep my scorecard straight.
Well, I do think, Vicky, that we could just use the worst case. We could use the absolute worst case. We use what they did in No Way Home, and simply just call we say Peter 1 for Tom Holland, Peter 2 for Tobey Maguire. Like we'll just do that, and hopefully that will solve the problem. Maybe not, but I'm throwing it out there so that way we at least have one way of solving it. Just like for the Illuminati world. I just say Illuminati world.
That there's a rumor going around, and nobody's confirmed it, of course, but there's a popular rumor going around that Defender Strange, the first Doctor Strange that we see, is actually the Doctor Strange from the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Interesting.
Now, Sam Raimi has not confirmed this, but it's apparently an extremely popular, because I heard it from multiple sources, and people are like, oh yeah, he's from the Tobey Maguire version. I'm like, where did you guys get that from? And then you go down the rabbit hole of trying to follow a rumor, and don't do that. It explode.
Well, I mean, we do know that Doctor Strange does exist.
Yes.
In the Tobey Maguire verse, because we actually have that funny little we do have that funny little scene where what's this Jameson goes, that's taken.
Yes, and he goes on his tirade.
Yeah, he goes on. It's like, what about Doctor Strange? No, that's taken. So we know he exists. we know that Doctor Strange exists in that.
Yes.
And it is something where, I'm pretty sure that we can have, the door is open again to say that it is, that it is. Like, there's nothing to contradict it.
Right. And then we haven't talked about the last variant that we meet. The Sinister Strange is how I've seen it labeled.
Which by the way is not the one from What If.
Tears.
No.
That's
so
not
cool. Him. Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool, but also at the same time, it's like,
Yeah. And at first I thought it was, for the first moment or two. And then it was like, oh. And then the third eye opens, you're like, So this is the one that also played with the Darkhold, but was not killed off. And he caused the incursion that's in his universe right now. And I mean, he is kind of like the same way that Wanda has become very evil with being controlled by the Darkhold. So has this version of Doctor Strange.
Yes.
I mean, nothing about this doctor. I mean, his motivations are about as unpure as you can get.
Yeah, that was, And I mean, geez, I will say one of the best things about that scene, a battle using musical notes.
Yes.
Oh
my God,
that's
so
one of those,
good.
That's one of those that I point to and I'm like, this is why I watch superhero movies.
Yes.
For like just insane stuff like that.
That was so well done.
Oh yeah.
And when it first started happening, I'm like, oh, this is different. But then I will tell you that that's one of those things that, to me, even though I don't remember that ever happening in a comic book, it felt very much the way that it would be, is that you're going to throw everything you have at him and anything that you can pull off. And it's just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. It was just, I'm just like, God bless you, Sam Raimi. I also, well, one thing I do want to talk about though, they have set up for, they have kind of set up for, a new Doctor Strange movie, because even though the Darkhold was destroyed, it supposedly was destroyed, Strange is still, like, you can see that Strange is still feeling the effects. Like, the movie ends with him, in pain as the third eye opens, and when Clea shows up, which, by the way, I thought it was like, oh, you brought in Clea.
Okay,
you
now
brought in Clea.
Who is she? Because I'm not versed in strange things.
Ah, okay. Clea, first of all, she is Dormammu's niece.
Okay.
She, they both, she comes from the same dark dimension where Dormammu resided, and she has been like kind of an on-again, off-again love interest for Doctor Strange.
Interesting.
And at various points, she's actually been like the ruler of the dark dimension. It started out that it was her mom, and then she overthrew her mom, and I think at one point Dormammu like took over from her. It's complicated. I know that right now in the comics, she is Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, well, that becomes very interesting then.
Because like right now, Doctor Strange is dead. They did a whole thing where Strange got killed. And it was Clea who ended up taking the Sorcerer Supreme mantle. Yeah, we had, we have Doctor Strange under the influence of the Darkhold, even though it's destroyed. The third eye popped up when he's talking to Clea in that end credits scene. So I'm just curious, as to how that'll like work out. Like how they're, what does this mean? What is this leading to? And is there a way that,
right?
Yeah, is there a way that the main MCU Strange can actually be the one to break the curse? Can he be like, yeah, I really don't need to have 3 eyeballs. This is a great amount of power, but yeah, I'm done.
That will be very interesting to see. And and of course, if we go back a little bit further, when he enters the body of now Zombie Strange,
Zombie Defender Strange. Yep.
Yes. I have to tell you guys that I absolutely love that. I love the fact that he was being attacked by the spirits of the undead. I loved the way that the zombie fought off Wanda. It just, everything about it was just so, first of all, it was so Sam Raimi. It was fabulous in that way. It was just so fabulous in so many different ways. It's hard to even articulate what did I like best about it. But I was sitting there cheering with everyone else in my seat and going, yes, now this is what I call a final fight scene.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially if you're dealing with like a movie that involves magic users.
Yes.
Possessing the dead body of your alternate universe self, and and doing battle with a witch that is using like the ultimate book of dark magic. It's like, again, this is why we read comics. Yeah.
Are you guys okay with how Wanda died?
Well, here's the thing, though. We did not see a body.
True.
We did not see a body. We did not see like we know that she brought the temple down on top of herself, but we did not see a body. So there is the chance, there is the possibility she is still alive. I mean, it would be interesting to, the door is open. And I know that Elizabeth Olsen has said she would love to do more Wanda. So
I think we're going to have her more.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we have something a la post Avengers, post House of M, where in either like the next Doctor Strange movie or some other film, you have somebody run into her, and she's just being an amnesiac walking around, a village close to Wundagore, just kind of relaxing, and they'll be like, Wanda, Scarlet Witch, what are you doing here? Witch, I'm not a witch, And they're just like, wait a minute, is she, wait a minute, is her brain, does she like totally not remembering any of this?
It will be very interesting to see, because as we all know, in the comics, very few people stay dead.
Oh yeah.
And that's also true in these movies.
Yeah,
There's lots of other ways that this could possibly change.
Yep.
Or maybe we get a different version. You might be right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. Again, while the movies are not the comics, and so far, people like Tony and Black Widow have stayed dead. With as far as Chavez is concerned, not Chavez. Sorry, too many characters. As far as Wanda's concerned,
yeah,
we did not. Okay, we know that she brought it down on top of herself. We do not have a body, and as long as we don't have a body, she's not dead.
True.
There you go.
Like if there's a body, then yeah, she dead. We eventually see a body.
Assuming she's dead, though. I feel like there's a pattern that's going on here where we're writing off the original Avengers and making room for the new characters.
Maybe.
Because
I just like what the fifth movie in a row where we've written off at least one. We've written off Captain America. We've written off Tony. We've written off Wanda, kind of ish. We've written off Black Widow, and those are in 4 different movies.
Yeah, well, Hawkeye is still around.
Hawkeye doesn't count.
Yeah, he may be trying to retire and just have Kate Bishop be the bow slinger. Thor is still around. He seems to be retired. But
killing off
we'll find out
doesn't count as writing off. So that's what I'm saying. Thor could very well be written off next movie.
Yeah,
and make way for someone else. It's possible.
That is a possibility. Oh, and by the way, and actually, if Wanda's not dead, if we are going to have the return of Wanda, this is going to be a little controversial, but there is a way to bring her back and to kind of what's the word I'm thinking of? There's a way to bring her back, and there's a way, in a way that brings her back to the side of good, while still, while not like just totally, while not, I don't want to say totally ignoring what happened in Multiverse of Madness, but at least giving an out that she can be a hero again. And this is going to be a little controversial because it's taking from probably one of the from like a rather controversial retcon.
Okay.
But I think in this case it could work. Because I keep thinking of the scene where Charles Xavier is in her mind and he sees the Wanda that's kind of trapped under all this rubble. Now, the first time I saw it, I thought that might be like the spirit of 616 Wanda, kind of, the good side kind of blocked off. The second time, I'm like, is that supposed to be the soul of Illuminati World Wanda? Like blocked off while 616 Wanda is dreamwalking. Like, I feel like it could be either way, but if my first theory is correct, then all her actions in Multiverse of Madness can be chalked up to Chthon.
Oh.
And the reason it's so controversial is because it feels a lot like when Hal Jordan went bad and became Parallax.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how they turned around and they were like, nope. He was possessed by, he called himself Parallax, but that's because he was possessed by the real Parallax. Like I said, it's controversial, but I feel like it does get a door where, Wanda, we don't have to deal with a Wanda who's, crossed, as TV tropes would say, crossed the moral event horizon. It's, like I said, it's tricky. It's very tricky, and it's just, it's, I don't know how quite to spin it, but it is something like, it is possible. It is possible we can do that. It's just, it'll be really tricky. But I feel like that if we do want to have a Scarlet Witch movie, and we do want to have Scarlet Witch back on the side of good, we can do that.
That's true. I think it's just it's so hard because it can get so convoluted so quickly.
Yeah. No, definitely. It just got really, but that's the thing. But again, that's the thing. With you have the Darkhold, the door. They mentioned Chthon by name. You can pull. We were talking earlier. We were joking about it's Mephisto. It's all Mephisto. We can have. The door is open. That we maybe not Mephisto, but we can have Chthon having pulled the strings. We can always have a scene where Wanda's like, "How did I do? How could I have done all this?" And then Chthon shows up and goes, "Well, I may have had keys to the car. I may have had keys to the car, and I may have been in control." So and hey, you said it. You said it yourself earlier. The Darkhold and maybe Chthon by extension could just as easily have manipulated that and just been like, okay, we're gonna, I'm gonna,
I think whatever happens, there's going to be actually a really simple answer because they're going to have it in a movie, and they need to show it for people who don't understand the comics and the craziness thereof of the comics. And it's going to shock all of us because that's what it's going to do. It's not going to be anything we think of just because that's what Marvel does.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Jeez. Now, here's the thought, though. Here's the thought for everybody. Is there any, of the, one of the things that this does is this did what Crisis on Infinite Earths did for the Arrowverse. That it opened up all the previous media to interact, even more so than Far From Home. Because, even though Far From Home had Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, this is, this had freaking Anson Mount back as Black Bolt. It brought back, Charles Xavier, we had Captain Carter. So here's my question for the group. Going through, keeping it live action, what live action Marvel character from a different, non-MCU project would you want to see show up? Vicky.
Oh, that's a tough question. Pass. Sorry, my brain just went 6,000 directions at once.
Oh, geez.
Let me think.
Okay. We'll come back to you. Zion.
I would want, even though it's impossible because he'll never come back, I would like a young Hugh Jackman, but that's not happening.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I think the closest we got to young Hugh Jackman was that cameo.
Logan, the aging.
And don't forget Deadpool 2.
That too, yes.
Yeah, he showed up in Deadpool 2. I would love. Well, first of all, I would love, even because since this didn't happen in Far From Home, I would love the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man to show up.
The one from the 70s?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be like, you don't even have to have poor Nick Hammond suit up. Just have have a scene where maybe the Tom Holland Spider-Man or something, walks up to the old the House in Queens or somebody, and like somebody is like, oh, I think Spider-Man lives here with his aunt. They go like, Miss Parker, and then you just have Nicholas Hammond come out and go, there hasn't been a Miss Parker in here since I lost Mary Jane or something like that.
Oh.
And then maybe have him like and then have like a little something where he'll somebody pulls like a web shooter out of a drawer, and he's like, yeah, I'm too old for that, sorry.
One thing that I'm still waiting for, which I think the easiest layup in all of cinema history, is if you take a character from the literal comic book and put him in a multiverse movie, pump out a one shot, and have everyone just go buy the comic. Ooh. But like the point is that like you've done something that's never been done, because you've pulled someone from the comic and literally put them into real life. Like this is the MCU version of, let's say, Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the easiest one to do. This isn't Tom Holland Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man. That's Peter Parker, the Peter Parker.
Ooh. Okay.
And then, of course, since Spider-Man comics are still running, you put out a Spider-Man comic either right before or right after said movie.
Ooh.
Wow.
You can even do it with King, since now they're saying that there's different splinters. Let's say that one of them is actually the 616 King, and boom, now he's here in the MCU, and boom, now people want to read the actual King now because he actually showed up.
Well, or the comic book version of Kang, or at least the main comic book version of Kang, because that's a character that is just it's like when you sit there and you go, oh yeah, let's have the real Kang. It's like, what do you mean?
Which one? Yes,
because it's like okay, it's like you want to say the real Kang, but then you're like, oh crud. Okay. You start thinking about, well, wait a minute. Is the real Kang the one that went on to become Immortus? Is the real Kang the one that went on to become Scarlet Centurion? Is the real Kang the one that started off as Iron Lad? It's like you start to go, oh crud, my brain is melted. My brain melted. My brains, as Hans Moleman would say. Yeah. Something that would be funny though, I know that supposedly they are planning to bring Deadpool into the MCU.
I don't know if I agree with that though.
Well, I think there are ways you could probably have him in there that would work really well. To me, of course, I think one of the things I would do is just have like that space in between, the one where where the Book of Vishanti was stashed. Just show the space in between. A portal opens up, Deadpool falls out, and he has like a map, this weird looking map, and he's like, so I need to go maybe this way, and then just he runs into another portal and goes, I think this is the Marvel movie this is the movie verse I need. Just do like this whole sort of, and then like, maybe have him come back and be like, oh wait, I gotta go back for my luggage.
I have a question, right?
Yeah.
If they are actually trying to bring in Deadpool, right? We've come into a point which I think is absolutely incredible for movies in general. Okay. And we've reached to a point where the comic book movies are getting to the point where we need to figure something out with bringing in new characters, because you can't just have 14 long movies or like 20 plus movies and bring in Deadpool in this one, Reed in this one, the X-Men in this one, and the other one in this one, without having some semblance of why they're here, right? Usually how this works is, as we all know, just reboot the universe and they're all there from the jump. We're going into Secret Wars.
Yep.
This is almost a layup to reboot the universe to something that's more closer to the actual 616.
Yeah, no, that actually is, a good point. I mean, we have, that would be a way that we could have, characters from 616, characters get into 616, because we could have like a redone 616. I do know that I always thought, I always thought if you're going to do the Fantastic Four, and this is going to sound weird, but if you're going to do the Fantastic Four, that you set it in the past.
Yes.
And you can even like do something to kind of open the door for the fact that, the Fantastic Four have always, they were here, but for some reason right now they're not, or whatever it is.
How about you have you read the Sentry series from 2000?
Mm-hmm.
Like you remember how Sentry has always been there since the Silver Age, but they just forgot him because of XYZ. You could do the same thing and say it was Doom that just messed with time, but they've always been there. They fought Thanos, they fought Ultron, but just no one just remembers them.
That's what? That's not a bad idea. That is actually kind of cool that you use that.
That only works with the Fantastic Four, of course, because they're the science guys.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. It is a way to work. And you probably could do it with X-Men.
Yeah.
Given the fact, if you have a big enough villain, like you can even use this with Kang, that, Kang tries to take over 616. And one of the things he did was he wiped out memory of, a group of heroes that were around, and you have a thing where it's like, yeah, the Age of Heroes was actually bigger than anybody thought. It's just, you had a villain who was just like, okay, nope. We can't have like a group of people who were born with superpowers. We can't have this group of super geniuses. Nope. So we're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen.
But isn't that how it works in the comics?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, not only Sentry, but I know DC did something with a superhero called Triumph, who was a contemporary of, he was a contemporary of Superman, Batman, and all that. They just forgot he existed because, reasons. So, there is precedent for it. There is precedent for it. So, just gotta keep your eyes on it. But yeah, no, we can have, there is a way to bring these characters in. The fact that we're getting Secret Wars, that does open the door. The fact that we're getting Secret Wars, we're getting, we could bring in, it could be, I know that there was a meme being passed around that said, we just have Deadpool, like, mess with things. just have like a meta moment where Deadpool, takes like sits at a computer that says, list of MCU characters, and he just writes in X-Men, and it's like, they're there. It's, we have possibilities. I would love, Deadpool. I would love, what? It would be interesting if we're gonna do, Fantastic Four comes out. Bring in the Fantastic Four from the 2000s movies. Bring back Ian Griffond. Bring even hell. You know what? Maybe even, I know that there was a thing in Fantastic Four where they introduced a multiversal group called the Council of Reeds.
Yes.
That's right.
And you know what? You could even use that. And I'm going to say this, and I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but that it's like, oh, holy cow, the door is just there. You could even bring in the Reed Rich, the Fantastic Four from Fan Four Stick. And if anything, well, no, and then here's the thing. You laugh, but the thing you can do is you bring in Fan Four Stick, and you even have the Miles Teller Reed, looking at like the Krasinski Reed and the Ian Griffon Reed, and then just be like, you guys, it feels like you guys come from a universe with hope. Yeah. That would be something I would want.
You could also just make him Maker.
You could do the Maker. Yeah, there you go. You could do this could be the MCU version of the Maker. That's true. There's options. Like, I'm just one of these guys. See, this is the thing. I love Multiverse of Madness, but the CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths spoiled me. It spoiled me because Now I'm just like, it's one of those things where if I'm doing this thing and you say multiverse, I'm going to grab the Rolodex of anybody who was in a movie based off Marvel characters and be like, what are you doing next weekend? Hey, Wesley Snipes, what are you up to? You know, hey, Ian Griffon, are you busy? You know? Heck, I'll even call the people from the Roger Corman Fantastic Four and be like, anybody want to be in a Marvel? Hey, Jay Underwood, you want to be in a Marvel movie? I'll call freaking Reb Brown and be like, you did those Captain America movies in like the 70s and 80s. Want to come film something? Like, I would just be like, call anybody who's done a Marvel project, bring them in. You know, even call Lou Ferrigno and be like, hey man, you want to like put the green makeup on one more time?
Hell yeah.
You know, and have him, and heck, since he's now older, have him put on the green makeup and then be like, hey, you want to be Maestro?
Boom.
Like, you know, have him play his Hulk and have him play the freaking Maestro. Like, seriously, dude, I would just, you know, again, I don't know if anybody would want me to work for them doing Marvel movies, because any Marvel project, because I'd be there with the handbooks and I'd be like, hey, can we use Constrictor? Hey, can we use Razorback? You know, hey, can we use Tapping Tommy? By the way, that is an actual character. I kid you not. That is he was a one-shot bad guy in an issue of Defenders. And he actually attacked the Avengers with robot chorus girls. I'm not kidding.
I'm sorry. What?
I am serious. I'm serious. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. He actually used robot chorus girls to attack the Avengers. Attack not the Avengers, I'm sorry, the Defenders. He actually attacked them with robot chorus girls. This is not a joke.
I'm actually able to picture this, and it doesn't go well.
Yeah. And here's no. Here's the thing though, because you know, one of the Defenders was the Valkyrie. But at the time, she had this thing on fighting women. And since the robots were robot chorus girls, somehow that kicked that in. So here she is having to defend herself against robot chorus girls, and she's like, I can't fight back because they're based off women. It's just I'm just like, I'm like, oh my Lanta. I can't even. Or there's even a character called the Trump who is kind of he has like, and this character's been around for a while. Like, he's been around since I think the 80s or so. He first showed up in Daredevil. He's got like a black outfit with red outlines, white boots, white gloves. He showed up in an issue of Captain America where he's trying to work on his sleight of hand, and he ends up getting mesmerized to walk off the stage. You know, he has like all the, I think he has like trick playing cards and stuff. I don't know. I need to look this guy up again, but this is, yeah, it was just, I mean, there's just so many, you know, again, there's just so many characters that I would want to like pull out of the play box and just be like, can we use this guy? Okay, I want to use this guy. Like, I would just have, you know, if you hand me like, okay, name me a superhero. Zion, give me a superhero. Anyone.
Okay, Blue Marvel.
Oh,
wow, that's a good one. How would I start the Blue Marvel, Blue Marvel TV series or movie? I would actually have a scene that takes place back in like the 50s. There's Blue Marvel, and I would just have him beating up a bunch of characters, and they would all be Golden Age villains.
Oh, sweet.
I would just throw out this giant pile of Golden Age villains and be like, yeah, we're gonna throw in the Electro version created by the Russians. We're gonna throw in the freaking hyena. We're gonna throw, you know, this character, that character. We're gonna throw in the zombie master. I would just throw them all in one scene. You know, I would, if you give me a Spider-Man project, the first scene would be Spider-Man facing down like the Shocker, the Ringer, you know, the freaking Hypno Hustler, like all of them in one scene, just to be like, oh, you know, let's have all the things. Like, that would be me. We need to have all the things. Throw in all the things. And I would just do it. I would just be like, oh yeah, no, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're going to have everybody in their, we're going to have as many as we can. We're just going to have the Marvel Universe looking freaking sick with characters. It's like, hey, is there anybody who's willing to, for cheap cameo in a Marvel movie? Okay, here's the list of characters you can be. Oh, hey, so and so actress. Oh, you want to be in this Marvel movie? Okay, here. Do you want to be Black Mamba of the Serpent Society? Do you want to be, freaking Joystick from the Thunderbolts? Who do you want to be? Pick one. Pick one. We'll make it work. I would just be going bananas like that. I would just be like, yes. Who do you want to be? Come on, choose your own adventure. Because
I would do a choose your own adventure with most of these characters. It's kind of funny.
Definitely.
We've had touching on various characters. Like we had in the first X-Men movies, we had Rogue, and I just wish that character was allowed to develop more. I've always liked that character because in the comics she was just there's all those little things and she can't really touch anybody and all this other stuff that it just made it very a very emotional character to me. And then I think about like Spider-Woman and I actually wasn't that much into She-Hulk. I was surprised by that one.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in the new TV show.
Let's not forget that we also, you mentioned She-Hulk. Frick, we got like the Disney Plus series. You mentioned Spider-Woman. Yes. You say Spider-Woman and I'm like, if they say if they say, hey, Ed, we hear you want to use Spider-Woman. Which one? I'd be like, all of them. It's like, well, we can't use all of them. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. But there's too many.
That's kind of the fun thing. I want a couple more multiverse movies because there's multiple versions of these characters, like you said, that you like.
Yep.
So you kind of want to see, what would happen? Okay, we've now seen what happens with Doctor Strange. We now see what's happened with Wanda. We now see what happens with some of these other characters. Oh, and Spider-Man. Well, what if I want more?
Yeah. No, exactly. Let's pull in freaking, oh my God, pull in the Matt Salinger Captain America.
Oh.
Pull in the Matt Salinger, have him again. You could even have, you could even when the Arrowverse did Crisis,
yeah,
they had Kevin Conroy as an elderly Bruce Wayne. Who decided to go against his vow against killing and freaking, kill a bunch of criminals. Pull in one of the old Captain Americas. And if he's old enough, he doesn't have to be the Captain America from his film.
True.
2 words or a word and a letter. Earth X.
Oh.
If Matt Salinger or Reb Brown don't mind, they can be Captain America again, and we can make it the Earth X Captain America. Boom, right there.
Of course, then there's the whole side of it that we find this all fascinating. We want to do all this, but can they really fall down this black hole and give us all this? What can they
Lord
really
knows.
do? And
Man,
what would they be willing to do? And
yeah,
because I started thinking about all these characters, and you and I both know just how many hundreds of characters. We might be in thousands of characters, and these one-off characters. And
yes.
Just, but it still needs to be profitable because these movies cost a lot to make. These TV shows cost a lot to make.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
But then again, I enjoyed the Hawkeye TV show. I enjoyed the Moon Knight TV show. I enjoyed WandaVision. So they have not turned me off to date, and they're making money. So everything they're playing with seems to be working. Keep doing what you're doing and give us more.
Yes. Yes, that. Yeah, that, and if you can go, and if they could go like whole hog, I would say do it. Do it. Give us as many of the things as you can. Like, seriously, I'm here and I'm like, imagine for a minute that, you know, we could just have, like, imagine the portal scene in Avengers Endgame and then freaking like drop it to like 1,000, like pump it to 2,000 to 9,000 and have like all these different versions of characters just scattered throughout, all these different characters just like fighting, whatever the big villain army is going to be for this.
That would be very interesting. But you also can, we can't have every movie be like the final, or shall we say original set of Avengers movies, because when you get into that final battle with Thanos and you've got all these characters, it's fabulous. It was great, but we've been working up to that. So if we're going to have another great giant fight scene, it's got to work up to that. So we need to have some of these characters pop their heads in and say something and be there. And I don't know. I'm just excited for the next thing. Let's just be honest.
No, yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to think of something, kind of middle of the road to say. And it's like, you know what? I had so much fun with this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I want more. I want it now. And I'm totally impatient. So come on, get with it.
Don't care how I want it now. There's the Veruca Salt.
I can also admit that, yes, that just because I love it, we love it, and we want all this to us. This is just, we're kids in candy stores with this stuff.
Yes.
That, they're not going to be able to give us everything we want, but they have definitely surprised me many a times.
Yeah. No. Yep. That is true. That is definitely true. We can only it's one of those things of like, you know what, let's enjoy the ride and let's see what they come up with next. Definitely. Most definitely. We know that next we have Miss Marvel coming to Disney Plus.
Yep.
And we have Thor Love and Thunder, which is coming in July, I want to say. And then after that, I want to say it's Black Panther 2 is supposed to come out before the end of the year, isn't it?
I know I have to look at the schedule again because, everything changed. Thank you, pandemic.
Yeah.
So.
But I want to say that the next is Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which that one I'm really curious about because, there were unfortunately some real world issues that gave things a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found the list. So
okay, you got the list. All right, hit me.
June 8th, 2022. Thor Love and Thunder, July.
Wait, June 8th?
June 8th, 2022, Ms. Marvel will drop on Disney Plus.
Oof. Okay, so it's actually I think by the time you hear this, it'll be out already. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it.
And then Thor Love and Thunder is July 8th.
Okay.
She-Hulk, Attorney at Law on Disney Plus August 17th. An untitled Halloween special is due this October on Disney Plus. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is November 11th. Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special on Disney Plus in December.
Oof.
And then everything else hits in 2023. Quantum Guardians of the Galaxy 3, The Marvels, X-Men 97. Those are all scheduled for 2023, and no set dates include live action Spider-Man sequels, Secret Invasion, Blade, Deadpool 3, Fantastic Four, I Am Groot, Armor Wars, Iron Heart, Echo, Wakanda series on Disney Plus, Captain America 4, Loki Season 2, What If Season 2,
Oof.
Agatha House of Harkness.
Oof.
And a few more.
I can't wait for all the things.
I know. It's like, holy crap. I'm so excited. Stop it, Vicky. Just wait. Let them film it.
Yep. Yep. Oh no, I'm with you right there. Give me all the things.
Okay, we may have a problem, but it's a good problem to have.
I don't have a problem. I can stop anytime.
I don't want to stop. Heck with that.
Yes, what she said. I can stop anytime. I just don't want to right now.
I just, even with some of their less financially sound items, I'm thinking like Morbius. I don't care. I still enjoy it. I still want to see more, and I think that they can afford one that doesn't make $500 billion in the first weekend.
Blasphemy!
And I appreciate the fact that we have a lot of Disney Plus series coming. A lot. X-Men 97 will be Disney Plus. Secret Invasion, I Am Groot, Armor Wars, Ironheart, Echo, Wakanda series, What If, Loki, Agatha, Spider-Man Freshman Year, Marvel Zombies. These are all going to be Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
And I think that the series allows them a little bit of luxury and a little bit of I guess time really is what plays into it, that they can have these top-notch A+ TV series, but they've got more time to do it. They've got more flexibility, and there are some things you can do on TV and expecting it that where it doesn't all have to be the final battle scene against Thanos, which really requires a big screen to watch.
Oh yeah. So although I just all this talk about all the stuff that's coming, it makes me think what would be like a really hilarious little Easter egg if you do like another multiverse project is you have a scene where you have a hero like in an alternate reality, and then they passed by a marquee, they passed by a film marquee, and you could have coming soon, the Iron Man story starring Tom Cruise. And then but then they pass.
That would be perfect.
Yep. And then they pass by another movie, and it's like this cartoon, and it's like coming soon, Rocket Raccoon the movie, and then they just look and they're like, he's popular enough to get a movie.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah. Or yeah. It's like, wait, he's popular enough to get a movie. Because of course, well, that's a joke I would put in because I just when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and I'm like, wait a minute, Rocket Raccoon's getting his own movie. We're gonna have a movie with Rocket freaking Raccoon, and people want to see it.
Yep. I could see that, although I can also see why I Am Groot has got the TV series.
Oh yeah.
Because anything Groot does is fabulous. Mm-hmm. There's just something about that talking tree.
Oh yeah.
That makes me go, I'll watch it.
Yep. And I still think one of the funniest things that I've ever seen as far as Groot is there was a mini series that Marvel did called Revolutionary War, which had all the British characters kind of get together. It was a way to celebrate the Marvel UK stuff from the 90s. Yeah. And there was a moment where the Guardians of the Galaxy were, they were Earthbound, and they were fighting off, the armies of evil in France. And then it's like in the narration, it indicates that the French thought that the Guardians saved the world. So you have like a bunch of French people cheering the Guardians, and Groot is there going, "Je suis Groot." And I'm just like, I'm like, okay, that was the best. That was the best.
Yes.
Je suis Groot. Like I feel like I feel like they need to do something like that. Have if not Groot in in France, like have him go to Mexico or Spain and just be like, "Yo soy Groot." Or something like that, or just or like have somebody talking to Groot, and you have like, oh, his inner monologue, and he's like, that is actually a very good point. You're actually more intelligent than you let on. You really shouldn't hide it. And then outside he goes, I am Groot.
He says so much with those 3 little words.
Oh yeah. See, it's called inflection, kids. Try it at home. And I think on that note, we probably should. I think we probably should call it a day, shouldn't we? Yeah, I think we've talked enough. For one thing, I haven't had lunch. I'm hungry.
Oh, well, then we should go do that.
Yes, because I'm allowed to eat. I'm not gonna eat while we're recording this. That's rude. That's rude. How dare you? How dare you suggest that? Shame on you. Yeah, I'm getting hungry and punchy. Anyway, so yeah. I think anywho, there, Mark. There's your freaking Doctor Who reference. Anywho, yeah, I think anything. I think last thoughts. Doctor Strange, love it. Can't wait for it to be on the streamings and on the Blu-rays and DVDs. What about you, Vicky?
I absolutely agree. I cannot wait to watch this movie again.
Yep.
And again,
especially when you can pause. When you can pause and be like, oh, holy cow, there was
it's right there.
Yep. Oh, holy cow, I've seen the Living Tribunal. Oh, holy cow, is that a reference to Satanish? Oh, holy cow.
Anybody, it is a fun movie. It is a crazy ride. If you love Sam Raimi, go see it. If you love MCU, go see it.
Yes.
If you love Benedict Cumberbatch, go see it. Just go see it.
Heck, you know what? And remember, there's even a cameo by Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell cameo. Which, by the way,
my friend Bruce.
Oh man, I love if you have to have like a movie ending end credit scene. That was just hilarious. That was perfect. For like I saw this both like twice in theaters, and both times the audience just roared. We were just like, that was chef's kiss.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? That's the next. You know what? That is the next Disney Plus series. They need to do The Adventures of the Pizza Ball Guy. Just have him trying to sell.
Bruce, I'd rather hear what Zion thinks.
Okay. What do you think? Adventures of Pizza Ball Guy. You know you want it.
Absolutely.
See, there we go.
Okay, he agreed with you.
Yep. Oh, Lordy. Oh, geez. Don't mind me. I'm weird.
No.
All right. So, oh, geez. So, yeah, this is Eduardo M. Freyre along with Vicky Jakubowski and Zion Quiros. Basically saying, remember, guys, you cannot dreamwalk into your alternate multiversal self. That's a no-no. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I see you trying to do it. Don't do it. Don't. Don't.
Hey, fine. I won't do it.
I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Don't think about it. Stop. Stop. No. Stop sitting Indian style. Stop it. Don't do it. Stop. Good girl.
Thanks for listening to Mark Who 42's Universe with hosts Mark Baumgarten, Eduardo M. Freyre, Zion Quiros, and Vicky Jakubowski. This program was produced and directed by Mark Baumgarten. If you'd like to get in touch with us, please go to our Facebook page or email us at markwho42s.universe@gmail.com. You can listen to old shows at our website, markwho42.com, or even our YouTube page, markwho42.
Mark Who 42's Universe, copyright 2022.